guess each of you will just take a turn to say what you thought like went well this past weekend and maybe some areas that the team could improve.
Okay. I think we have a lot of freshmen. We have a lot like we have two transfers. I think that team chemistry is really strong right now, honestly. With the team being so new, I just think we all get along really well and we play well together. So that's definitely something positive going into the first weekend.
I would have to agree, just being a transfer and kind of filling everything out. It's already felt like I've been playing with them all 3 years and all of my career. I would say an improvement would just be keeping our foot on the gas no matter who we're playing and just coming right off the bat hot and just staying hot.
Cam, I wanted to ask you specifically, just you were such an interesting piece for the team this year with like being able to pitch, being able to hit. Just how are you kind of balancing kind of both of those worlds where maybe one game you really need to pitch for the team, the next game they're relying on you at the plate.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's something I've done my whole career, even before I got here. It's definitely a balance, that's for sure. But me personally, I perform better when I can, make up for maybe if I had a bad inning, I can make up for it at the plate. Or if I have a bad at bat, I can make up for it on the mound. So personally, it's just a good way to like to mentally wash out for just me as a person and being able to perform for my team.
Yeah. And what did you learn from your freshman year that you were able to really attack in the off season to get ready for, your second go around?
Absolutely. I had a rough year last year. I just had to absolutely this summer grind and rebuild, find a new identity and who I am as a player. And so I worked hard. I worked really hard this summer, trying to come back and be better for my team, and live up to those expectations that I have for myself, and just be what I can for this team.
And last thing I'll ask for now is Tianna, just can you walk us through, getting here in the first place? Like what made you want to get in the portal and ultimately what made you decide to come play for a former Cal star with Coach Deifel?
I was just looking for another push. I felt like I was getting too comfortable at my old school, and I just knew that I could excel at a new level. So I just broke out of my comfort zone and decided I was going in the portal. And it being my last year was kind of scary. But when I got here, they made me feel so comfortable, and they were already talking about the future as I was already a part of the team, and I was just so excited that I couldn't leave here without saying no or yes. Sorry.
Kyle? Tiana, I wanted to ask you first. You could start kind of building off Ethan's last question. Like your weekend really could, everybody got a piece of the pie pretty much over the weekend, but yours was just like video game type numbers. So just kind of talking about, you wanted another push. I'd say you started off your Razorback career pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. It was just so exciting and just so thrilling. Like it was just so surreal. I couldn't believe it. Like it was just so like I was just so eager to get out there and just experience what Razorback softball is like, and it was just so fun.
And Cam, this is kind of a homecoming for you. I know this San Marcos is about 2 hours away from where you grew up, but how excited are you to get back to Texas and this early in the season and play some games there?
So excited. I mean, to me, family is everything, and it's just something that I cherish. So being able to go, home and go play in front of my family and see all of them is just really good for me.
And you playing at Katy, I've had a chance to cover quite a bit of high school softball in Texas, and there's three former Katy Tigers on the roster. I know between you, Kaylee, and Ashton. So, I know y'all have got girls that play at other schools from that graduated from there too. So, what is it about that place that's just so good at developing and really just helps get girls to the next level?
Um, he's not there anymore, but Caleb Hack, he is one of a kind. He's very hard, very old school, so he's not quite everyone's cup of tea. But for me personally, he's just he was hard, but he really prepared. He coached at Alabama prior to high school, so he knew what it took, and he pushed us in the fall and just kind of prepared us in ways that I don't think anywhere else does. I mean, my bullpens were collegiate level bullpens. My, conditioning was collegiate level conditioning. My lifting was collegiate level lifting. So just overall, he just prepares us for our potential to where we can be in college.
And last one for me, you kind of talked about how the closeness of this team and everything and how together you guys are. I know, Robin being the senior leader and as far as the pitching staff, Peyton kind of took that step as a true freshman leader last year. But really, once you look past them, I mean, you're kind of that next one up, that's starting to get more innings and taking somewhat of leadership roles, I can imagine. So, taking that big of a step, and as Ethan had talked about, just kind of playing somewhat of a utility role or playing a utility role this year. How much does that mean to you, and how much pride do you take in that kind of being a leader now?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. I've always been, I feel like everyone at collegiate level, you go to school, you've always been top dog. So I've always kind of had that leadership role, and that's something that I enjoy being. I wouldn't say I'm quite there yet, but I am building to get there. I hope that I have a breakthrough season this year, to maybe get that trust with this team. But it's something that I really like. Just being able to pour into the girls like they're my sisters. So yeah, that's something I look forward to. Hoping I have a breakthrough year this year.
Thank you all.
Eric?
Cam, you mentioned that you weren't pleased with last season and how that went. Just describe what you learned from last year that you're applying to this year, and what did you work on in the off season to get you ready for this season?
Absolutely. I mean, I just put my identity into softball. I didn't really know who I was outside of that. So when, all break through and I was just like, what the heck is going on? I just kind of had to go back to my roots and figure out who I was and rebuild who I was. This summer I went and worked on who I am as a pitcher, maybe changing some things to make me more successful. And just, not lowering the expectations, but not being so hard on myself and not trying to be perfect all the time, and understanding that everybody at this level is good and there's no way you can ever be perfect. So just being able to accept that and truly practice and work that way, I think has improved my game incredibly.
Tianna, what's it like adjusting from, you've been in California, now you're coming all the way to Fayetteville, Arkansas. What have been some of the adjustments? Just forget the softball side. You say you already feel like you're connected, but there is a lifestyle adjustment there. What's it been like for you?
I would only say the most shocking thing would be the weather. I got out here, it was a different type of heat. I felt like I was just melting away every step I took outside. And then to experience snow, I've never experienced that in my entire life. So just I would just say the weather has just been the most shocking part about being out here.
So you witnessed snow for the first time.
Like snowfall, yeah. There's a few places in California where you can go and just, it's cute, but out here it was not cute. It was
What did you do? You stay in, or did you try to go out and feel?
I just
Okay.
peeked out the window. I was like, oh, that's cute. I'm just gonna stay in here.
Fair. I think a lot of people have done that the last few weeks across the country there. Talk about what you've been getting to know Coach Gasso, and what you've learned from him in this short period of time there as he runs the offense.
I think since being here, we've gotten so close, and just the couple months that I've been here, he works so hard to get people where they need to be. And especially me being a senior, he told me, there's really nothing we need to fix. Let's just enhance what you already have. And I think he's already done such a great job with that.
Cam, you're unique because you're a pitcher, but you also hit. So how much time you're spending with Courtney, obviously in the bullpen, but how much time do you spend with Coach Gasso there on the hitting side?
Just as much. I mean, I'm a hitter, so I do everything that all the hitters do and the position players do, and then I'm also a pitcher, so I have my time in the bullpen. It's definitely a balance. It's a lot of work, but it's something that I really like about softball and something that I think that brings my game to the next level.
For the both of you, who's the jokester on the team? Who's the one that has got the funniest material that throws it out there at the right time?
Ella McDowell.
Yeah,
Ella McDowell for sure.
What makes her so funny?
She's just so random, and just the thoughts that you kind of keep to yourself, she says them. So it's like, yeah, I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to say it, and you said it, so now it's funny.
yeah.
That's too funny. One last one before I hand it off. Tianna, Dakota's in the same boat as you, coming over from the West Coast to Arkansas. How much have you two bonded? I don't know if you knew each other prior, and if you did or didn't, but what's it been like for the two of you there as a common bond there?
I don't think a lot of people know this, but during travel ball, we've actually played together. So I think throughout our whole entire high school career, I've known Dakota since our 8th grade year. So I've known Dakota for a while. So when I had went into the portal and she went into the portal, it was like, oh, cool. And then she told me she was coming to Arkansas, and it was a week after I had came, and I was like, oh, you're going to like it. And then she was just like, she texted me, she said, "Woo pig," and I said, "No way." Like that's awesome that, we kind of started our softball journeys together and now we're ending it together.
Tiana, did you know anybody else prior to coming?
Um, no, just Dakota. Just Dakota.
How have you gotten to be so close with the team in such a short amount of time then?
I just think that's kind of like my personality is that at first I'm kind of standoffish just to kind of get a feel of, how people are and their personalities. And then once other people are open, just like I mentioned, Ella, she was just so open from the start and everyone else was just so open and welcoming that I was like, okay, like I can be myself and, just me being that person that's, gonna crack a joke with you. I think that allowed me to just bond with everyone so easily.
Obviously, softball players, y'all watch a lot of softball. I'm just curious, from the outside looking in before you got here, what was kind of your perception of Arkansas and how did maybe things change when you actually got to come here on your visit?
I don't really think anything changed. Just looking from an outside perspective, it was like, oh, these girls can ball. Like, this is just an elite level of softball. And when they had reached out in the portal, I was like, no way. Like, I get a chance to be a part of that.
Pam, wanted to ask for you. Of course, I'm sure you knew Parker like before he left for Duke, but now getting to kind of reunite and have him coach you, what's that been like?
It's been awesome. I mean, me and him were so similar when it comes to the sport, but also personality wise. So we click really well. He gets me. I'm a very serious person. I don't really joke around a lot when it comes to softball, which is okay. It's just it's just how I am. And he gets that, and he's okay with that. So if I get frustrated in the bullpen, he's like, "Okay, take a breath. It's not that serious." But like, I get where you're coming from. So when it comes to that, it's very lighthearted in there, and we just click really well.
And I can imagine that last year, you said you wanted to put some things in the past from last year, but to end on the note you did where you had such a strong outing at the super regional to keep team in it, how did that maybe fuel you going into an off season where you knew you wanted to fix some stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of towards the end of the season, I kind of started telling myself I had to get to the point where it's like, I can, I will. And I just think that that last series, I truly started to believe that I can and I will. So just being able to hold on to that and seeing that it works and that I can and I will do it. This summer, it just kind of pushed me to be like, I can and I will, and I'm going to. So having that mindset, I think instead of shutting down and being like, what the heck, like this isn't who I am, I was like, you know what, I'm going to prove people wrong. I'm going to prove myself wrong that I can and I will do it.
What pitchers did you grow up, admiring, or maybe like did you have a pitcher idol?
Ooh, did I have a pitcher idol? Um, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I was into softball, but not necessarily the pitching side. The one player I did look up to was Bianca Bell from LSU. I just loved the way she played. She wasn't a pitcher; she was a third base hitter. But just the way she played the game is just something I looked up to. But I just happened to fall into being a pitcher. But I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of good pitchers out there, and you can pick and choose from anybody. So I just just kind of look and oh, that's cool what she does, or just look up to everyone and how they play the game.
And then last thing I want to ask you is obviously y'all have a whole lot of returners from last season. It seemed like y'all had a really strong culture last year. How have y'all been able to maybe protect that just with the continuity that y'all have on the team?
Absolutely. I just think everyone here is just we're all so competitive and we're all fighting towards the same goal. We all have that same kind of heartache and heartbreak from last year. So I just think that with us feeling that together, it's kind of like we grew closer through it. And you can see it in the fall, the way we work, the way we push each other, we hold each other accountable. And then with the newcomers coming in, they fit right in with us, same mindset, same everything. So I'm really excited to see what this year has for us.
Kyle, you want to wrap us up?
Well, there was one I was going to ask that I'm not even going to lie to you, I forgot. But I did want to ask Tiana, the $1 million question coming into the season, and Coach Deifel talked about it when we met with her in January. Who's going to replace Bree? Who are they going to do this? Who do that? Well, obviously, you had an incredible weekend, both defensively and offensively. Coming in, and I know it probably helped having the entire infield back, especially with continuity and everything. But when you came in and you kind of knew that you were going to fill that role, was there any kind of, I don't want to say like butterfly, whatever words you want to use, but was there any kind of that like nervousness, like, oh, I'm taking over for the player of the year?
A little bit, but she's just one of a kind and she's just such a phenomenal athlete that there's just, I'm just going to play my game and just do what I can to fulfill that role in any way possible, whether it's just, getting base hits or, scoring runs. And, the home runs will come. And like I said, she's just a phenomenal athlete that it just looks like it comes easy for her. So just fulfilling the role in any way that I can just to uphold that standard is just what I'm working towards.